Today I'm excited to do another Dollar Tree review. I picked up a couple of items and I'm excited to share with you guys what I think about them. Let's get started. Okay, the first Dollar Tree thing I have is this wallpaper that they have. It's peel and stick, removable, fashionable. And I got this kind of wood looking one. When I film, I'm at this white desk thing and it just keeps, I don't know, it's having a hard time keeping it clean. And I just kind of wanted something a little more interesting to look at, but also not super distracting. So I thought this white wood wallpaper from the Dollar Tree might be nice. So I'm gonna give it a try and cover this desk. I do like that it's got like a way to peel it, so you can fold this back and put this part on and then make sure everything is straight and level, and then you can peel the bigger part off. But they've used it looks here like on the wall, on your steps. They've also used it on the back of a bookshelf. But I'm gonna use it to cover this desk and we will see how easy it is. All right, let's get started. I love how this turned out. I think it looks great. and it really was simple to use. You kind of saw how I had to pull some pieces up because I didn't match them up as well as I wanted to, and it came up really easily and went right back down. And also I noticed there's like no residue left on my desk, so if something should happen to this, like, you know, there's very good chance it could get nicked and get messed up and I need to fix it, I can easily take it off and the desk underneath it is just fine. So I really like these. I ended up using, I believe, 6 of them, so I have this piece left over, and then I have some scraps that I can use for some other paper crafting. But I think this will look a lot better in my videos and be a little more appealing than just my white desk. So I would give this, their Wall Creations Wallpaper Peel and Stick Removable Fashionable pieces, a 5 out of 5. If you're interested in trying these out, I would definitely try it out, pick it up, and yeah, I love it. Alright, I'm excited to check out this next item from the Dollar Tree. It's the Pom-Pom maker. I have 3 different sizes here. This one was it had 2 in them, and then it makes a smaller pom-pom ball. And so I've already taken it out and worked with it. And yeah, it was kind of self-explanatory, but I'm going to show you where the directions don't really show you what to do next. But these 2 that come in that pack, I honestly don't notice a huge difference in the sizes. I need to trim this ball down. But they just don't look all that different to me. So I'm excited to see how big of a pom-pom this one makes. So I'll show you how to use it. So just so you can see, both of the pom-pom makers, they have the same directions on the back. So you have this, and it's got these pieces that fold out. And it's the exact same thing, just different sizes with the other ones. So they fold out, and here it tells you to wrap your yarn around these pieces, and then it says to cut the yarn and tie the yarn and then trim your pom-pom. So first we are going to grab our yarn and we're going to wrap it. And I noticed, I tried it both ways, where I wrapped it and then I tried to continue the wrapping over here. So what you're gonna see is I'm gonna wrap it here, cut my string, and wrap it here, cut my string. So another thing I noticed is if you want a really full pom-pom, you need to wrap a lot of string. So it's okay if your yarn overlaps because you want a lot of string in your pom-pom. So I'm just using size 4 weighted yarn, and I'm just going to wrap and wrap and wrap it around both of these little pieces. So now that I wrapped my yarn, I closed my pieces down. I'm just going to trim my string off real quick, and then I'm going to open up the other side, and I'm going to go ahead and wrap my yarn several times just like I did on the other side. Alright, now that I have that closed, I'm just going to trim my string real quick. And now I'm ready to make the pom-pom. So you'll see that there's kind of this guide, like an edge inside in between that you could put your scissors in, like that. And you're just going to use that guide and take your scissors and you're just going to cut the yarn all along that path. And you're going to go to the other side and do the same. Take your scissors, and you're just going to cut in there like that. Now so far, this is pretty much following the directions on the back, other than I showed you it helps to cut your string in between the wrapping, which it doesn't say to do, but I think that's helpful. And then here we just cut our yarn. Now we are going to take some yarn and we're going to tie it together. So that same nice middle piece that we used to cut the yarn with, we are going to slip a string through that same space, and we're going to tie a knot to keep our pom-pom together. And I pull it pretty tight. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Pull it tight. Go ahead and cut your string. And then this is the part that they don't tell you how to do, and it's very confusing. So it took me a while, actually messed up one of them. But so what we're gonna do after we have made sure we tied a string down the center is we're going to pull up on our, this one has yellow pieces, but whatever your colored tabs are, pull up on them, and then you have to pull them away from each other because there's a middle bar connecting them. So you just kind of move, it will pop off, and then there is your pom-pom. And so once it popped off, you're going to take your scissors and just trim any of the longer strings, which, I mean, it just happens when you make pom-poms. So you just want to trim your pom-pom up so that it's roughly all the same size. And there you have it. It is pretty simple. I don't think the directions give all the directions that you need, but yeah, there you go. Now you know how to make the pom-pom. And this one, yeah, is nicely quite a bit bigger than the other two. And I like that I have different sizes. What I'm going to do is make a Christmas wreath with my pom-pom balls. When you want to use it again, just make sure that you match it up correctly. So like you can see that this was the original matchup, and you just slide it back together like so, and it's ready to go again. And you got your little pom-pom maker. So I'm going to take some green and red, maybe some white yarn, and make several pom-poms and make a wreath. And then I also picked this up at the Dollar Tree, and I also have some like little miniature trees that I can put around it, but then these can like rest on top of the pom-poms, and I'm going to make a wreath with it. So keep watching. That video hopefully will come within the next couple of weeks, and you guys can see how you can make your own pom-pom ball wreath. But let's think of how I would rate this pom-pom maker from the Dollar Tree. I will give it a 4 out of 5, and that's just because the directions were not very clear on how to get the ball off of your pom-pom maker, and it just kind of took some time to figure that out. So now you know, but yeah, that would be the only reason why I give it a 4 out of 5. I do think it was quick and fun. Make sure you put tons of yarn, wrap, layer, so that you get a nice full pom-pom. But yeah, overall, that was a really great buy from the Dollar Tree. My next Dollar Tree find was this gem canvas painting kit. I've done one of these in a previous video. Oh, I think it was a keychain. So I think this one's going to be a bigger one than my last one. No, it wasn't a keychain. This might be about the same size. I'm not sure. But I really enjoyed that one, so I thought I would give this one a try as well. Okay, so the difference between this one and the other one I did, this is a canvas, and the other one I did was paper. And so if you've never done these before, this is covered with an adhesive. So you have a clear plastic covering, so that way your piece maintains its stickiness. That's the best way I could think to describe it. We're going to use this tool to pick up the gems, and we have this wax that we stick our piece in, so that way we have something that can grab hold of the gems we're using. And then they have the gems that come with it, and they are numbered. So you see you have a bag 1, 2, 3, and so on. And you can see on the painting, or it's not a painting. Well, it calls it a gem canvas painting kit, so I don't know. But it has numbers. And so where there is a 4, you will use the number 4 colored gem. And so I try to use a bag that's like close to the edges, so that as I work, I just peel away that little bit. But I just take my gems and I put them in the tray, and I'll set this aside. Sorry, I like to look at the directions. So, it says organize the gem packets and match them up to the corresponding numbers and letters. Part 2, choose a gem color packet to start with. Note the number of the letter on the packet marks the page. Gently slide the track back and forth to help the gems round side up. So you can bounce it like that, and you want to have the round side up. So you can see how these guys have the round side up, and then these are flat sides. You don't want to grab it by the flat side, you want to grab it by the round side. So occasionally you'll need to, move your tray around to get them the way they're supposed to be. Peel the protective film on adhesive back slightly and press down to apply it to the pin. So that's the wax. So there's a protective, film. Peel that back. I'm going to take my pin and just kind of come up to the corner. I just stick it in there, and then you can see it grabs a piece of that wax in there, and I'm just going to cover that back up. And then I can use it to use the pin to grab individual pins, then peel back the protective film on the canvas and place your gem flat side down. So I agree with the directions. They're all pretty well explanatory. Like they would be what I would expect, and they would be enough to explain the situation that I think anybody could get that. So like I said, you want to grab it from the round side. So here's my pin. This one has a round side right there. And I'm finding anything that has an A, and I'm just going to put that color down. And I just, do this until the entire canvas is covered with the gems. I find it really calming and just relaxing to work on. So I think I might set this aside so I can finish filming some other things today, but we'll kind of do some time lapses of me working on it and then show you my final product when I'm done. But I really like these for $1.25. I mean, you can spend a lot more on these at other stores, but I feel like, same. I don't really notice much of a difference in quality or anything. I feel like the quality of this is pretty great, and I don't know if you can use leftover gems, but I always have leftover gems from these, and so that seems, like it comes with plenty enough pieces. So this I would give 5 out of 5 stars. I believe that's what I gave the other one that was on paper, but now it's on canvas, and so maybe I can do different things with it because it's on canvas than I could do with the paper one. Alright, a quick revisit to the gem painting on the canvas. I'm excited to use this canvas to see how I will use it when it's finished. So I'll just keep you guys updated on that if I do end up using it for another project once it's finished. But the gem paintings from the Dollar Tree, 5 out of 5 stars. Suggest you grab one. Our next Dollar Tree item is this Macrame craft kit. It's part of their Christmas house collection. Seasonal goods, established in 1996, so there you go. But I just thought it was cute. It's this little reindeer ornament. So let's open it up and see what we got. I did notice that it says it comes with the cord, the wooden ring, miscellaneous embellishments, instructions, but we do need basic sewing supplies. So let's see what we got. It's a cute little nose. Okay, it says it is a beginner's craft. So hopefully I can do this. Before I begin, read all the instructions before beginning the project. So it shows me how to do a lark's head knot, a vertical lark's head knot, and a square knot. And then here, natural, don't cut 8 31-inch cords of the brown, and the green cut 2 23 and 5 inches cords. Okay, so I'm gonna have to grab my measuring tape and measure these off and cut them. I'm going to start by making, how many does it say? I'm gonna use the brown cord, and I'm going to cut 8 31-inch pieces. So I got my measuring tape, and I'm just gonna measure out 31 inches, cut it, and then I'll do that until I have 8 pieces of 31 inches. So I have my 8 pieces of 31-inch brown cord. And then I had 1 piece left over that was about 27.5 inches. So it gives you plenty of cord with a little left over. I'm gonna set this aside so I don't confuse it. And then for the green cord, I'm gonna cut 2 that are 23.5 inches and 2 that are 47 inches. Okay, so I finished cutting the green cord, and you saw I had about 18.5 inches left, so once again, a great amount. And now I'm ready to start working on the reindeer. The first directions are to fold the neutral cord in half and attach to the ring with a LHK. So I'm gonna have to look back over to here. And we have a LHK, which is a lark's head knot. So I will follow these directions to make that, to attach it to the ring. So let me find the middle part of that, and then I will try out that knot. Next, the directions say to do 22 vertical lark head knots with the right string and 22 vertical lark head knots with the left string. So I have a total of 44 vertical lark head knots. I gotta untwine my 2 strings, sorry, behind the camera a little bit, so that way I can tell the difference between my right and left. There we go, got that ready. So let's see how I do this. All right, thanks to YouTube, I have figured it out. So I've done my right side string and I did 22, and I mean, there's quite a bit, and I'm really having to pull it tight and push it together. And so this is how you do it. So you'll take your string and you're gonna go from front to the back and pull it through. And then you want your string to also come through the loop. So I'm pulling it through the loop I made. And then instead of going front to back, I'm gonna go back to front and then pull my string through that loop I just made. And then that's how you make that knot. And I'm gonna pull it tight and push it. So that was one of 22. So once again, I'll show you to make the vertical lark's head knot in macrame. I'm going to take my cord and I'm going to go from front to the back. Pull my cord all the way through. And then I'm going to take my cord and pull it through the loop I made. And I went from the front to the back. Pull on that. And I'm gonna go from back to the front. And then I'm gonna pull my cord through that loop I made when I went from back to the front. There's my knot. So I'm gonna pull it tight and push it. My only suggestion, I did forget to show you, but we made that first lark head knot, and so make sure when you're working that you're working in the same direction. So when you had that lark head knot, you had like the loop on the front, make sure that's in the front as you work, so that way your work looks the same. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish doing this knot with the natural color, and then we'll just try out the next part. And once you get the hang of this, it goes pretty quick. The angle I'm at is a little hard for me to do it, but once you know how to do the knot, you just kind of get used to it and it goes pretty fast. So I'm gonna finish this up and then we'll do the next part. Okay, so I just finished doing the lark head, or the vertical lark head knots around the ring with the natural cord. And it said I would end with 44. I did 22 with the right one, and then I did 17 with the left. And that ended up covering the ring for me. So that worked out. And then it said to use a needle to tuck your string around the back end, but honestly, I don't think that's, I think I will struggle to get it through just because it's so tight. So, and then it said to glue down your ends. So what I'm gonna do is just make a knot like that, and then I'm going to knot it one more time. This top part should be covered up with the brown for the antlers. So I'm okay if I have like a bit of a bump, because I think it will be covered up. So I'm going to oh my goodness. Okay, I'm going to tie a tight knot, and then I'm going to cut my string and I'm going to hot glue it so it stays together. I have the string glued, and so now I'm just going to set it aside, let it dry, and I'm going to look and see how we make the antlers now. So it says divide the brown cords in half, creating 2 groups of 8 cords each, 16 cords. Okay. Using the 8 cords on the left. Interesting. Okay. Using the 8 cords on the left, make 2 SK, having 6 filler cords and 2 working cords. Attach brown cord LHK. So I'm gonna go ahead and attach all my cords to the top with a lark head knot. Okay, I'll go ahead and do that. So I find the center. I grab my macrame ring and I do a lark head knot. Oops, I wanted to go the other way. So that the loop is on the front. Okay. Okay, now we're gonna work on the antler. I already did this one, and it involves doing a square knot. And so we are first going to make a square knot with the outer 2 strings, and we'll have 6 filler strings. And so what I did was I had 4 of the 8 31-inch pieces of cord over here, and I had the other 4 over here. I kind of have this like space in between a little bit with the knot, but that's okay because I'm going to end up tying my string to hang it from the, like to turn it into an ornament to hang from the tree. So now I'm ready to do the other side, and I'm going to take the outer 2 strings and have 6 filler strings for my square knot. I'm going to take the left outer string and go over and under the right outer string. I'm going to take my right outer string and go under all the cords and back through the loop of my left outer string. And then I'm going to pull it up, tighten it up a little bit. Okay. And to finish the square knot, I'm going to do the opposite of what I just did. So instead of the left being the string that goes over, now the right is going to be the string that goes over and then under the left one. And my left outer string is going to go under all the filler cords and back through that loop that was made from the other outer string. And then I just pull it tight, and that is one square knot. And so I'm going to make one more square knot with the 2 outer strings and the filler strings to do this part of the antler. Okay, now I have done 2 square knots, and now I'm going to separate my strings into 2 groups of 4. So I'm just going to do that, and then I'm going to have, we're going to do these like branched off pieces, and to do that, once again, we're just going to do square knots, and we're going to do 3 square knots on each side. So I'm just going to set these 4 over here so they don't distract me. And I have my 2 outer strings. The left one, once again, I'm going to go over the top and under the far right outer string. I'm going to take my far right outer string and go underneath my filler string, which now I have 2 filler strings, and up through that loop that was made from the left outer string. I'm going to tighten it up. And to finish the square knot, I will do the opposite of what I just did. So instead of the left going over, the right is going to go over, and then under the left outer string. The left outer string is going to go under and back up through the loop made from the other outer string. And then I'm going to pull it tight. And there I have it. I've got my first square knot. So we did 2 square knots for this base part, and for these little pieces of the antler we're going to do 3. So I've done 1 here. I'm going to finish it up by doing 2 more. Now that I'm done with this branch, or do you call it a branch, with this part of the antler, I am going to do 3 square knots on my other 4 strings on that part of the antler. Alright, there, the antlers are done after the square knots. The directions say to take your strings and use a needle to tuck them. I tried and I couldn't get it to fit. So what I did was I took my string and cut it about the length of the 3 square knots, and then I just took my hot glue gun and I just glued them down. And so I'm going to go ahead and do that with this antler. I just fold it over. I'm going to cut it the length of the 3 square knots, and just using my glue gun, I'm going to hot glue the ends down. And then I'll show you what it looks like after that. Here is my macrame reindeer so far. I got the ears. I mean, the back doesn't look super great, but we're, hopefully not going to see the back. So there's that, and now we're ready to start working on the bow. I've made one part of my bow here, and how we do this is we take the shorter piece, which is the 23.5 piece, and we find the center, and then we take a longer piece, the 47 inches piece, and we find the center of that one as well. And then we're going to join them together with the lark head knot. And so I'm just going to go ahead and do that real quick. And then we're going to use the longer cord to make the vertical lark head knot around on both sides of the shorter cord. So I got my longer string and I have a shorter string. They say to make 12 of the knots. I only did 6 on each side, so I have a total of 12. They say to do 12 and have a total of 24. But I like how, sorry, I almost lost my bead. I like the size of that, and so that is what I went with. And I'm gonna do that with the other side, okay? So they suggest to tape this down. I just kind of did it I held it in my hand. But, I mean, we're gonna make the vertical lark head knot just like we did the other. Take our longer string, we're gonna go over the shorter string, behind it, and then back through that loop we just formed. And then before I pull the string tight, I'm just gonna make sure that I'm holding my shorter string straight out, and then I'll pull on the longer string to form the knot. Okay, to finish this lark head knot, now I'm gonna go from behind, come back over, and through the loop. Once again, holding my shorter string tight, I will tighten up that knot. And there I have my first vertical lark head knot. And so I'm gonna make 5 more, and then I'm gonna do 6 on the other side. And just remember, you're working with your longer string onto your shorter string. So I have done 6 of the vertical lark head knots on both sides, and now I'm going to join them together into a loop, like this one's together with a square knot. So I have my outside strings, and then I have my 2 filler strings on the inside. So I'm going to take my left outside string, go over the filler strings and under the far right. I'm going to take my far right string, go under the filler strings and through the loop of the far left. Pull it tight. And then this time I'm going to take my right outer string and go over the front under the left. Take my left outer string, under the filler strings and through the loop of the right outer string. And there is my square knot. And then my last step to make the bow is to take both of these pieces and I'm going to join them together with a square knot. And so, just trying to think of, I'm just going to take my outer strings and then I will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 filler strings, and we're just going to do 1 square knot. So I'm going to take my left outer string and go over the filler strings and under the far right. Take the far right one, go under the filler strings and back through the loop formed by the far left. I'm going to pull these tight and just try to, move it around to make it look the best it can. Pull on it a little. Okay. And then now I'm going to finish the square knot by taking the far right string over and under the far left under the filler strings and through the far right loop and pull that tight. And then now I just kind of wiggle it around until it looks like a good bow. Okay. And then that's how we make our green bow. I could just leave it this long, but I don't really like my strings this long. So I'm gonna trim my strings probably to about here. And then my last step is to hot glue my bow on here. And then with the red bead, I'll stick this here to be my little Rudolph nose. And then my ornament is complete. The last thing I'm going to do is add the string so that way I can, hang it from my tree. And I'm just going to use that, what they call it, the lark head knot, to slip it on. And then I'm going to tie this in a knot. And then trim that string a little bit. And there we go. I have my ornament. I really like this. This is really cute. I think it turned out really great. And I learned some new skills. It definitely looks like the picture they have. It's a nice, good size. I agree, this is a beginner level because I had never done it, and with just some video help on the vertical lark head knot, I was able to figure it out. And I would give this Dollar Tree item a 5 out of 5 stars because I think the directions were pretty straightforward and definitely had a lot of material, enough to finish it. I like the materials that were used, and the things that you need at home: scissors, hot glue gun, something to measure with, and I just feel like those are things a lot of people have around. So all in all, I suggest this from the Dollar Tree. Alright, my next Dollar Tree item that I picked up was this jot organizer case, and I had picked up one of these already to organize my washi tape, and I really like how it turned out. I can see all my washi, and it's just nice and organized, and I can stack them, and so I picked up a couple more of these, and I'm just gonna go ahead and fill them with my washi. And since I've already used this before, I already know that I would give this a 5 out of 5. It fits, different washi tape sizes, and it holds quite a few. It just depends what size of washi that you have. Now this one's a weird one, so that one's not gonna fit. That one was from Archer and Olive, and I'll put that in a different spot. But yeah, it holds any typical washi, and so I just kind of fill it, and there you go. One thing I do want to note is it takes a little finessing at first to get your liners to go in between your washi tape, but it will fit. It just takes a little bit of a finesse. So there you go. Dollar Tree little craft organizer is great for washi tape. You can see all the different washi tapes you have. It makes it easier to decide what you want to use, because mine were just stacked on top of each other, which is a pain to not the worst thing, but to have to lift and figure out which one I was going to grab. And this is just a nice way to keep them organized on my desk. Alright, my next Dollar Tree find that I wanted to try out are these water brush pins. I have some watercolor paper here, and then my watercolors. These are not from the Dollar Tree, but these pins are. So the Dollar Tree pins come in a pack of 2. And you have your cap, which is nice, and then you have the bottom portion that you fill with water, and then you can screw it back onto the top. And what's nice about the watercolor pin is, I mean, it's easier to take with you on the go if you like to paint while you're out and about, because you don't need a cup of water to dip your brush in. This is your water, and you can kind of control how much water saturation you want in your painting. As far as I understand, the pins did not come with any instructions, but I watched a video on YouTube, and that pin had like a button to control how much water comes out, and this feels pretty like squeezable, so my guess is you just kind of squeeze, but we will see. And all right, so I'm gonna go fill this up and we will give this a try. Okay, I have filled my pin with water, so I'm gonna take my cap off. Right now, this is not wet, so I'll squeeze down, shake my pin down. Okay, as I shake it down, I don't feel any wetness either, so I think it's a squeeze situation, which is nice. And I'm going to paint with the green. I think I'll just, so when I squeezed, a nice drop of water came out. And then I can wet my brush. Okay, and I think I'll paint like a little Christmas tree. Let's see what we think of that. Okay, so that's pretty simple. I didn't do any color mixing or anything. I think that might be a little tricky to do with this. So my color palette is pretty small, and so I usually have to mix and rinse my brush out quite a bit. But to rinse the brush, I'm gonna squeeze some water out of it and use a paper towel and just kind of keep going until I get the color out of my brush. And then, at least that's what the internet told me to do. And then I can use the brown. So it doesn't look like any more of the green is coming off when I'm doing this. So I'm gonna go ahead and try getting the brown, and hopefully I don't get any green in my brown paint. So let's see, because I'm just gonna make a little, what do you call that, chunk? Okay, yeah, no green is coming off. I'm picking up the brown, and I'm just gonna come here, make my trunk. And then I can rinse the brown out of this brush. Oh yeah, I see more of the brown coming out than I did the green. All right, there we go. I really enjoyed it. I would say I would give this a 5 out of 5 because it's controlled. It's not just leaking out of the tip like I thought it might. You squeeze it and then the water comes out. And it is just nice to not have the extra water. So if you do like painting on the go, you could definitely do that. And the brush tip I think is nice. I mean, it comes to a nice point. So if you wanted to do like small work, you probably could. You could see I made some like broad strokes with mine. So yeah, I'm not much of a watercolor painter. So, you know, this is just like a beginner person using this, and I think it's great. So 5 out of 5 stars for the watercolor pens. So there you have it, my review of the Pom-Pom makers, the wallpaper stickers, the gem painting kit, a macrame ornament, the watercolor pen, here's some of the pom-poms we made, and the washi tape organizer. I really enjoyed all of them, and I would recommend picking them up. Let me know in the comments down below which is your favorite and the item that you are going to grab the next time you're at the Dollar Tree. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.
If you would like to see more, please like and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the bell so you don't miss a video.